covenant is a promise.
Mm.
But I think covering is a blessing that the Lord provides over. Like, you can be in covenant with some stuff that the Lord ain't blessed.
Hey, you're a child of the Most High. You gotta come back home. You gotta come.
Hello, welcome to Authentic in Christ, where we're shooting at the Charlotte Podcast Studio. Now, this is Authentic in Christ, where we keep it raw, real, and relatable. Okay.
Yes.
Now, this is our second episode
It is.
of our series
Yes.
2,
Series 2.
Becoming Whole.
Becoming Whole.
Okay. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Period.
Amen.
All right.
Won't he do it?
Now, I am your co-host, Sydney.
I am Kendall.
And of course, y'all know. Now this season is about becoming whole. So we're talking about the utilization of becoming yourself and finding your identity in Christ before you try to find your identity in anything or anybody else before. Okay? Because our identity should be tied to Christ, not to anything or anyone on this earthly plane.
Okay?
Okay?
That's good. So, girl, where have we been?
I mean, we've been doing things. We've been doing
Everywhere.
things.
We've
been
everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Working
we've been
hard.
networking, been working hard. We got things that we're doing for our brand. Child, the Lord is blessing. The Lord is blessing. And we've been on a nonstop marathon, but I've loved every minute of it. I'll say the mixer.
Yeah.
Period. The mixer.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big one for one.
Yeah.
But then also for two, we have our website is now out. AuthenticInChrist.com.
Yeah. Letter N.
We're literally on Google.
Look us up.
You can look us up. Now I can use that line. Look me up. Yeah. Now look me up. But we're on Google.
Yes.
We have our ebooks.
Yes. So if you ever wanted to know how we started, look.
Go there. If you want to know how to start a podcast, and there's some gems in there, y'all.
Yeah.
It's some great stuff for the low at that.
Yeah.
That, man, a lot of people would charge an arm and a leg, but we out here helping because we know exactly
how it feels.
Yeah. When you don't have nothing. Yeah.
And now we're here.
In the Charlotte Podcast Studio. And not only are we here in the Charlotte Podcast Studio, our outfits.
Yes.
Baby.
Oh, we gonna have to shout out our stylist.
Y'all, we have upgraded. It said the elevation also leads to style as well.
Yes.
Like we said, not only do we want to be in a studio, a recording studio, but we gotta look good.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. We went to the Crystal Hall.
Period.
The Crystal Hall, man. You ever need some styling, please go to the Crystal Hall. On Instagram, the Crystal Hall, I believe is that. But even if you type in K, type in
y'all
Crystal.
gonna know, because the girl, she can eat down with some fashion.
And that's exactly who styled us today.
Yes.
And we didn't even realize that we were matching until we put on our outfits. We didn't realize she coordinated it like that. But now it's like, wow.
Yeah.
She did this for us. So
she's the truth.
She is.
I give her flowers. Yes.
For sure.
Oh, okay. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Oh, we forgot to mention this as well.
Oh.
That surprise that we have coming up very, very soon with these two other people that are great.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to tell y'all right now right now.
We need to.
But I need y'all to know that we're about to have some special guests.
Yeah.
Some special guests. Yeah.
I know y'all love seeing our lovely faces, but we about to have some more faces on here, okay?
We could give a little snippet of kind of not who it is, but they are males, okay? So, yes, we are the female perspective, but this podcast for men and women.
Yeah.
So, we said we got to bring some males on our podcast to get their perspective as well. Yeah. So, just want to let y'all know in the near future, you're going to see two amazing men of God hit this podcast, and we excited.
Everybody dropping some gems.
Everybody got a piece. So, it won't just be two of us. It'll be 4 of us.
Yes.
So, we're excited. We're looking forward to it. We can't wait. But we're not revealing name drop just yet.
Y'all that's all you're gonna be on your toes.
You gotta keep watching.
Y'all have your appetizer.
Right. But yeah, girl.
So, stop acting like a wife when you're still single. Oh, we about to ruffle some feathers.
I think we did in the first episode.
That is true.
I said, when I said y'all should be boyfriend, girlfriends, I know y'all was like, man, get on. She's mad she ain't got no man. Excuse me?
Not they trying to put that bitter spirit on you.
Excuse me? That's not it. I'm just trying to live by the Lord. I'm just trying to do what he told me to do. But yeah, stop acting like a wife when you are single.
Yeah.
Who? Doing too much before commitment. What's the time that you've done too much before commitment? It's embarrassing at this point.
It really is. Y'all gonna be all up in my business. But
yeah, I asked the deep question, but we've all been there before.
I mean, yeah. So I would say I used to play wife in my life and like kind of plan my life around somebody. I'll say, look, I'll go ahead and be straightforward. In college, I met this man and I just thought he was gonna be my husband. I just thought I had a whole plan. We was gonna graduate college and we were gonna move. I guess we were gonna move to Texas. And I was planning how I was gonna be a veterinary assistant in Texas, and we was gonna have like an apartment, and then later we was gonna move into a house, and he was gonna engage. He was gonna ask me to be his wife. Like I had it all planned out in my head, and so I was given more than I should have.
I didn't even know this. I'm trying to figure out.
You know who it is.
Oh,
you know who it is.
Now that part. See, yeah. And we lived together, and she did not tell me this.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Y'all, if y'all don't know, we're cousins. So we from the little itty baby to literally, like we are cousins. Like, you know, our mom.
Yes.
My dad and her mom, they're like this.
But I'll say it was my second heartbreak.
Boy, I think I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So we had planned it all, and like I'm naturally a giver.
Right.
So I do things without, expecting or planning. That I just, give. Yeah. I freely give.
But that's the most beautiful thing about you.
I overgive.
And yeah, you got no boundaries.
Yeah, I didn't know boundaries.
You gotta know, like, you're not about to play with me.
My love was boundless, so was my actions.
Oh, Jesus. But you live and you learn.
Yeah, definitely learned. Definitely learned. But also in that lesson, I learned how to love myself. I learned that, you got to set boundaries. Just because you love hard don't mean that you need to go full-fledged into wife mode and you ain't even a wife. So
that man is like breadcrumbing you and you going above and beyond for somebody. So was it okay? You were going above and beyond, but was it reciprocal at any type of anything at least? I mean, it's okay. It's a safe space. Girl, if
we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge. Like,
I mean, in a way it was, but also it was bare minimum.
Oh, okay.
It was bare minimum. Yeah, it was bare minimum. Like
food, really.
I was out here accepting bare minimum. Okay. I was, and so we don't do that now. Okay, we don't do that now. Come correct or don't come at all, because I'm not into wasting my time.
No. Okay. You're like, you really gotta live and learn, because baby, I done did too much before commitment. Yeah. Before a man.
It's a little bit embarrassing.
Honestly, though, when I think about it, I laugh now, but it's still like, ugh. I went out like that.
Yeah.
I went out sad like that.
Yes.
But you know what? Those same men know that they can't come back. So, I mean, I feel like a win is a win.
A win is a win.
I was a little bit silly, head over heels for you back then.
Yeah.
But are you hitting my line now? No, because you know the woman I am now, you can't even touch.
Yep.
So, therefore, it's like, okay, I know I've grown.
Yeah.
But I've done way too much before commitment. I've honestly never been in like a real relationship, though. Yeah. I was when I was like 16 and then going to college. And then in college, that was toxic.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
Oh, we got some stories.
We got some stories. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't count that as a relationship, because if you didn't treat me right, I was in a relationship with you. So it was definitely, I did things for a person that wouldn't have done nothing for me. Literally, wouldn't give me 2 pennies. And I mean that, no exaggeration. But I was going above and beyond because I'm just like, this gotta work. And that also was because I gave him my body. So that was the second person that I had ever been with. So I was like, this has to work out. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. Like, we gonna work this out. And that's exactly like looking back on it, that was my mindset. But now it's like, okay, don't lead with your body. Lead with your spirit. And I wasn't that at 19, I didn't know Jesus. I only found out Jesus when I had that experience with that person and they like really broke my heart. So then that's when I found out who Jesus was, and it was like, oh, okay. I can't lead with my body, Jesus. I gotta lead with your spirit. I gotta be the woman of God that you said I am. And I always have been, but I didn't know it back then. So I've done so much before well, not too much, not overly. But it's like looking back on it, I wouldn't do it again.
Did too much,
I'm not where I was at 19. And you gotta hug your younger self. Because now looking back on it, I don't give myself enough hugs. Like at 19, you were a completely different woman that you are today. You have grown, you've experienced, you've endured, you've learned, and you're not there anymore. And even in therapy, my therapist was like, do you ever like give yourself enough compassion? And I was like, no, I'm very hard on myself. And I take a lot of accountability for what I've been through. Because I do understand, even though I was young, I put myself in those predicaments where it was like, Kendall, you ain't love yourself enough. But at the same degree, the only way you do grow is hugging yourself too. You have to really nurture and be like, okay, I'm not her. Thank you to that self, but now I'm moving past it. We evolve. So yeah.
And I definitely say like doing too much, you will have some doggone mental and emotional consequences if you're doing too much for the wrong person. And we have to be discerning, because I definitely reap some emotional consequences by doing too much and constantly doing too much. And I would say that was a lesson that I had to learn by trial and error, multiple trials and errors. But on the outcome of it, I definitely am more protective of like guarding my heart, guarding my spirit, guarding my mind, guarding my time.
But still soft.
Yeah,
you're still soft because you still desire it. And you're not going to eliminate a potential person just because you are guarding your heart. And I think that's important, that with the scripture, guard your heart above all else, that there's still a level of softness about you. Like, yes, you are guarding it. Yeah, go ahead.
You don't let your circumstances or your heartbreaks harden your heart.
That's good.
Like, because ain't nobody gonna walk this earth and not have somebody hurt their feelings.
Right.
But like, it's different when you constantly want something and the thing that you want ends up being the thing that hurts you.
Right.
But you also have to be mindful of how you got there. Like, you have to take some responsibility on your actions and your parts. And I've learned like, I messed up. That don't mean that love is supposed to hurt. That don't mean that I'm not supposed to expect hurt from love.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
Period.
Like, you got to go back to
the word literally says
love is kind.
Literally.
So if they're not treating you with kindness, that's not love, and you got to remember that.
Yeah.
We be like, man, I ain't messing with love, but what that person gave you wasn't love.
Yeah.
So if it was toxic, if it was abusive, if it wasn't of God, that was not love. So
and people hurt people.
Yeah.
Like, when you get to that point where I've been hurt so bad that I ain't even gonna try love, or love sucks. You need to
saying all types of stuff.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and seek like healing.
Yeah,
that's
good.
That's healing that you need, that you're projecting, that maybe you ain't ready to admit. And sometimes people are not ready to admit to themselves. You have to make a conscious choice in yourself and say, okay, I'm tired of feeling like this. Okay, I'm tired of being hopeless. I want to give hope another try. I want to give love another try. But I need to come correct. I know there's some things that I need to work on, but before I try to get with somebody else, because I'm going to end up projecting my past on them because I'm stuck in my past. I ain't addressed the past. I ain't addressed what really hurt me. I just swept it under the rug. And we love to sweep some stuff under the rug, especially me. I used to sweep some stuff under the rug. I did. But now I'm more forward with addressing it, because I notice whenever I sweep stuff under the rug, it's not gone. It just presents itself in different ways. And I refuse. If I know my husband is out there, I refuse to be trying to protect my past on my husband. Yep. Okay.
So I really love how you said that, like, if you haven't dealt with your past, then going into your future, you're not going to be okay for you or the next person. You just jumping into things that you should not be jumping into because you didn't go to the Father first. You didn't ask him to heal your heart, renew your strength, renew your spirit, and say, God, create me a clean old heart, God, and renew a Lord spirit within me. Those words are powerful because that's your surrender. You are saying to God, God, I need you to cleanse me from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I need you to cleanse me because the pain that I'm feeling, I can't carry. He said, lay it at my feet. And that's what I had to do. I had to lay it at his feet. But also with that, I do feel like sometimes we jump into roles that we're not ready for. So jumping into a covenant role without covenant covering. And that's a big deal.
Oh, because the covenant is, I think, in what I've read, covenant is a promise, but I think covering is a blessing that the Lord provides over. Like, you can be in covenant with some stuff that the Lord ain't blessed. Oof. Like, we come into covenant with some sins.
Yes.
Now, let's just be real. We come into covenant with sins. You can come into a covenant with a relationship, and that's not what the Lord has ordained for you. That's not what the Lord wants for you.
So the covering isn't on there.
And you what you gonna read? You gonna get a whole lot of because one thing about it is you walking with Christ. As long as you're under the Lord's covering, as long as you stay in His will, anything that happens outside really won't affect you. Now, that don't mean it stops, because it definitely keeps coming. But when you are in His covering, when you are in His protection, He protects you. Like, the Lord will protect you. And that's the same thing with marriages. That's the same thing with relationships. You need to be in His will and in His protection, because one thing the devil hates is a marriage. The devil hates marriage. He hates the man. He hates the man because he's supposed to lead.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying, look, if the Lord tell you to leave something wrong, you better listen.
Leave it alone.
You better listen. You better listen. Ooh, because He's telling you, I don't have my covering over this for you, daughter. This is not what I want for you. Or son, this is not what I want for you.
Right.
Leave it alone. Because
it's gonna hurt you.
It's gonna hurt until you have to leave it alone.
And you white knuckling that thing. You like, Lord, that was me. Yeah. I was like, Lord, this gotta work.
Yeah.
But that person hurt me to the point where it's no repair.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I love you from afar. I wish you nothing but the best. But you have nothing to say to me. Yeah. I have nothing to say to you. It's no more reconnection or reignite. I don't want your apology. I don't need it, because I've apologized to myself for allowing you around me. I forgive you, but I forgive you from afar. And I absolutely wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Like, really. Like, I don't have no hate in my heart. I'm not holding that. And I think with Christian men and women, we got to be so much better into being intentional with what we're doing as far as like dating and even like getting into a relationship with someone. If you don't see a purpose with that person, why are you, they call it, shacking up with them? Like, I can't see myself jumping into a role of shacking up with anybody, because you know what that leads to.
Yep.
You becoming a wife prematurely because you're living with that person. So they gonna expect you to cook. They gonna expect you to clean, which you should, because you shouldn't be nasty and just not have your...
Yeah, please clean your house.
Yeah, please. But are you doing that for him or for you?
Yeah.
And as the man of God, you shouldn't even want to move in with her, because you know that the Lord's covering isn't on that, because y'all are not in complete union. So I think, we jump into these roles of the world and we think, well, let's just move in with each other. We know the economy. Rent $1,500 for a 1-bedroom. And we
utilities.
And we get it. Because you know what? Sometimes I used to think, God, if you bless me with a good man, we just get this apartment together. But God was like, no.
Yeah.
My union is not in that.
Yeah.
And then my parents would disown me. They don't do that. You shack it up with who?
Yeah.
And he can't help you do what? Like, I would hear it, and I don't want to go through all that. So I'd rather not. So I think, You can't jump into things that God did not call you to go into. He wants y'all to be in a union because he knows what happens whenever you get, in close quarters with somebody. And I think living with someone, I don't think I could do that right now. I used to think I could do that when I was younger because I was like, so in love with a person and, we could just live together. But I learned that I was set apart. So I can't just live with you. Because if I do it, the consequences are going to look worse. I can't just do what other people do. When they do it, it's okay when they do it.
It's a problem when I do it.
It's a huge problem. God be like, that's not where I want you. Yeah. And he will pull me from that. Yeah. And so jumping into those covenant roles without the covenant covering, you wondering why this man is treating you or this relationship is not going how you thought it was gonna go. Well, God's covering isn't there. So you jumped into a role with someone thinking that God would cover it, but that's not what he wanted for you from the gate.
And
it's not that he's away from you, though.
Yeah, no.
He's still loving you, but he's going to teach you that lesson through it.
Yeah. And it opens, when you're outside of his will, it opens the realm for confusion. And God is not a God of confusion. So if you getting confused, and that's the thing about jumping into roles prematurely, you blur the lines.
Right.
Don't blur the lines. Do not blur the lines. Stand on business. We love to say stand on business. Stand on business. Because when you blur those lines, it leads to confusion. It leads to heartache. It leads to unnecessary feelings that you don't need to be putting yourself through. Yeah. Honestly. And
like, are you with that person out of commitment or convenience? Oh, because the economy is bad and we're young. It just makes more sense for us to be together. But are you committed to each other honestly? Or is this just a placeholder for when I get some money, me and this person done? Male or female. But that's why as women of God and men of God, we got to raise the bar. Stop living like this world, y'all. Oh, yeah. Be different. Tell that young woman or tell that young man, hey, we can't live with each other until we lock in something of a marriage. Yeah. And I know people and their ideas of marriage are not all the same, but it's a big deal. If you're a Christian, you should feel like marriage is the ultimate goal. I feel like everyone does have someone purposed out here for them, made specifically for them. And I understand in the Bible it does say not everybody will get married. But if you have that desire, you need to be intentional with where you lay your head at. And what you're doing. And who you're doing it with. Yeah. Like, you got to be very intentional because the enemy loves when you don't care. Yeah. Like, when I didn't care about who came in my life,
he's like, that's who came in. Playground. That's his playground, child.
I remember I was a freshman in college, and I was just telling him, like, God, I was walking around literally. I didn't tell God this, but I had this attitude. I don't care who come in my life, and the devil came in my life. Oh, yeah. Literally a demonic spirit came into my life. Like, I'm not surprised it happened, honestly, looking back on it, because I was saying I didn't care. Yeah. And when you don't care, that allows the enemy to come in and put that pressure on you. And I could have folded, I could have broke, but I didn't. And that's the best part about it. Like, he'll send his best hitters, and God be like, baby, my child got the armor of God.
Period.
You can't compete with her.
She built different.
Stop playing. She built different. That's good.
But yes, and not caring can show up in different ways. Like, not caring, you could be nonchalant, or not caring, you could be allowing of things that you don't need to be allowing. Yeah. And that's where I fell short. And my freshman year, oh Lord, my freshman year, I was just like, yeah, it was that naive. It was that naive sense.
Maybe it can work out.
Yeah, it can work out. Knowing I put myself in a situationship. I allowed myself to put myself in a situationship. Had people showing up and trying to fight me, and I'm like, I don't even know. Yes, it was a hot mess.
You didn't even tell me this.
It was a hot mess.
And now I'm getting mad because who went and where and who was it?
It was, and I will never again. But it was a hot mess.
Who's trying to fight my cousin?
It was a hot mess, but that's because I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. I wanted a relationship that bad that I was willing to lower my standards or allow certain things that I didn't have no business allowing.
For me to be picked.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of us do. When you don't really know who Christ is and you're not willing to wait on him, you're going to be in a performance, let me just do this so he can stay.
Yes.
Girl, if you don't leave him alone.
And that's you trying to make your will. Yeah. That's you trying to enforce your will. Okay.
For sure.
I want a husband, or I want a boyfriend, or I want a man. And so I'm going to just allow this maybe it'll work. Maybe he'll change. You ain't gotta allow nothing.
If he for you, you don't gotta perform. He naturally wants to do things for you, men or women.
Exactly.
Because you know it's them guys that be on your phone and you don't feel like texting for real, but the one that you do want, you be head over heels like, oh, let me text it back. So you know there's a difference when someone really, really wants you and when someone doesn't. Because I've been on both sides. When you really want someone and that other person may not want you. They don't want you in that level. So you know as a woman when someone's not treating you like you want to be treated. You know it. Yeah. But we go searching for answers. We go like, maybe is he busy? No, girl. There's no busyness in the world that'll make a man not text you if he wants you. Yeah. If he wants you, he gonna ask about your day. He gonna want to be around you. Yeah. It's simple.
It really is.
We overcomplicate it.
It really is.
Picking to be performed.
So then it's like
performing to be picked. My bad.
So then it's like, okay, so the difference between being wise and being hard or being shut off. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like when we get into these areas or we blur these lines, sometimes when you are putting yourself in predicaments, you kind of blame people or blame circumstances, so you kind of harden yourself. Mm-hmm. But how do you still navigate dating with being wise versus, just being cold-hearted?
Prayer. Like, you literally have to pray for discernment. Mm-hmm. Pray that this person, like, I've had to have tears when I'm praying because it means that much to me, especially from what I've been through. Like, I thought God was just going to supply my Prince Charming after what I've experienced, like, when I was a sophomore in college, and it didn't go that way. Yeah. And I was just so confused because I'm like, Lord, I'm doing the groundwork. I'm doing what I think needs to be done to become this woman of God. Yeah. And no, I wasn't, though. I was lukewarm. I was definitely still in the streets. I was still doing what I was. I was outside. I was drinking. I was dipping one. I was having sex outside of marriage. I was doing things that God did not tell me to do. Yeah. And I was expecting God to plop him in my life. Yeah. So those situations did harden me to a sense. Mm-hmm. But then it gets to a point where it's like, but God, I do want a husband. I do want the things that you've promised me and I've wanted from the gate, but I wasn't met with. So instead of me saying, God, I want it was like I did acting out instead of submitting and surrendering to him. So I think now prayer is the biggest thing of like, you have to discern whoever you're going to entertain. For one, watch his character. If you're a woman or a man, watch their character, their heart. How do they treat others? And how do they treat others when they don't need them? That's a big deal too. Oh, yes. How do you treat others when you don't need that person? Yes. Because I mean, even if you do need them, how they treat, like how you treat others is how you gonna treat me. Yep. And I do also believe, like, your prayers have to become very specific. You got to tell the Lord, like, if this person is for me, give God like a secret code. Yeah. Do something that I can understand. Yeah. But also don't be bossy in your prayers too. Like, Lord, lead my heart, lead my spirit. I trust you enough to guide me where you need me. Mm-hmm. And then I'll leave it at that. Mm-hmm. And eventually a snake has to shed their skin. Yep. They can't pretend forever. Yep. They're eventually going to show themselves to you. Yep. Whether one way or not. But as a woman, after you become wise and not hardened, you start to realize, oh, you don't even take them to shed their skin. Yeah. You understand their character. You understand their spirit. You start for me, I'm a dreamer. I'll start dreaming about things and I'm like, oh, this person not for me. Or I literally feel it in my spirit. Mm-hmm. Like, when you have a relationship with God, he will reveal things to you in no time. Oh, you said you wanted an answer? Pray about it. Mm-hmm. You pray. Yep. He gonna give it to you. Oh, yeah. He start becoming inconsistent. It starts becoming dry text. It just, something in your body don't feel right. He not the one for you.
It ain't it.
It ain't it. They ain't the one for you.
So how do we... Okay. So what's the difference between being not perfection, but perfection and like you knowing your identity? Okay. So you don't have to be perfect. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody's going to be perfect. But when you're coming into dating, how is knowing your identity helpful or going to navigate how you date? Because you date different when you know who you are and who the Lord made you. Like, you date different. You date with purpose. So how has I know you said you're not dating now, but how do you navigate dating if you were to date?
I think now, if someone were to come into my life, it will always have to be led with prayer, and not only matching his, fruits of his spirit, but also his assignment. I think that's very important because there are a lot of men of God in this world. But is your assignment purpose to my assignment? And to dig deep into that, you really got to know a person to understand, oh, this person is supposed to be in my life in that capacity. So I think now with the dating, I look at a man's intentionality. I'm like, okay, are you sticking to your word? Because as a man, for me, your word is bond. And it should be. Because if I had a father that did not stick to his word, an earthly father and my physical, spiritual father, then your word would mean nothing to me too. So a man's word means everything. And if you back that up with your actions, period. We locked in. Oh, okay, I get you. Now you speaking my language.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when a man isn't for you, they'll say it but won't do it.
Yep.
Or they'll do it and won't say it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have both. And I think for me, I really watch what you say. You said you was gonna take me out at 8:00, and you not here by 8:00. You're blocked, and you're going and deleted. It's no roses in the passenger seat. What are we doing, man? You know I like flowers. What are we doing? Yes, it's that
First
serious.
off, why'd you say you was gonna do something and they gonna do it?
You gonna do it?
Now I don't trust you, you liar.
You thief. You thief in my heart. Like, I don't trust y'all. Like, no, seriously. But yeah, I really do look at what you're saying. I look at that social media. I look at what you're posting.
Oh yeah.
I look at it. I'm always ask for that Instagram. If I see you spreading money, not for me, boo.
Yeah.
But I used to like that
flashy
stuff.
too. If I see you flashy, I don't really like flashy, man.
Yeah,
I don't. Because why you feel like you got something to prove?
Oh, that part. I like it more low key.
Yeah, I like them quiet.
I like it low key, but you still multifaceted. You still handsome. You're still charming. Yes. But you don't gotta pop it.
You ain't gotta do too much.
You don't have to do too much to know that you are that much.
Exactly.
Like, I just want to know about your confidence and the way you carry yourself. Because them pictures don't mean nothing to me. No. All this stuff is an illusion.
Literally.
Social media
stuff
is only
fleeting.
Illusion. Yes.
Material stuff is fleeting. It's not gonna last. It could be gone tomorrow.
That's good. So yeah, you gotta really lead with prayer.
Okay.
Because the Lord speaks to me.
Yeah.
When you got a relationship with him, he will talk to you. He'll be like, Kendall, this ain't the one. One time God told me, he was like, this isn't what you prayed for. Because I was putting myself in a predicament where I was trying to make it work. And the dude obviously did not like me.
Oh.
Oh, God. Like, he didn't. He liked my body. He liked my face. And that's a lot of times what happens. Like, it's a lot of lust in this world. Yes. So he liked what I could offer him in that aspect, but he didn't like my spirit really because he didn't want to keep it around. So I was, trying to text. I'm like, man, you said you was going to come over. You said we was going to go out with each other. I went out sad. And then God spoke to me. He was like, but you didn't pray for this. Yeah. So you chasing something you didn't even pray for. Yeah. But that goes back to me not believing in my prayers and lacking in trust and faith with Jesus as well. I didn't believe in what I was asking for, so I settled for what I saw. Yeah. And that's not how it should be. Yep. You should always, now I'm at the place of, now that's why I'm not dating. Because until you come correct, then I'm not going to keep putting myself out here until you come to me. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Period. And I was not finding them. They were coming to me, but I would allow these spirits to be around me that weren't supposed to be. So.
We just out here exposing our business.
Look, this series 2 is something.
We keeping it real raw and relatable, ain't we?
I think now how do you feel about this?
Okay.
Why being whole affects how you choose and what you attract?
Ooh.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, I feel like being whole, you need, if anything that you do, you need to be secure in who you are. Secure in who God made you, in your calling, your purpose, secured in your identity. So nothing else can falter or flaunt your identity because you know who your source is. Now, when you date and you know who you are, you have standards for yourself, which means you don't settle. Which means you are willing to let some stuff go that don't serve you.
You wait, and you wait well.
Period. You wait well. Yes. Ooh, you wait well.
Like, I think a lot of times we settle and we lack our boundaries and we just let go of stuff and be like, well, because you don't wait.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that too. Because honestly, I'm in shock that I'm still single. I would think by, not to toot my own horn, I would think like, oh my God, I would be with somebody. And even it's like sometimes it's embarrassing because a lot of people will ask like, where's your man? You ain't got no man. And it's like, no. Like, well, is there something I started kind of question myself. I'm like, is there something wrong with me? But the Lord said, trust me, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
I will hide you and protect you from that rejection that you will get from those that don't understand you. And that's exactly where I am. Like now I understand. I've been refined in the refiner's fire. So therefore the man that he has for me is going to be more than what I could ever think of. Even ask for. Ephesians 3:20, they're going to be beyond what you could think of or ask for, abundantly above all of that. And because of that, he is going to be a man of God. And so you got to wait for the things that are from God. The things that are not from God come quick. And it's like, oh my God, here it is. And I'm not saying that every love story is like, like that in a sense, but I'm saying most of the time it is. When you're a woman of God and set apart, you are going to have to wait, but wait well.
Yeah. And I like going back to that, like when you have your identity, you know who you are, you're not seeking things out from other people. Like I know you want to be intentional with who you're dating,
right.
but you're not seeking fulfillment through other people. Like, and because the only person that can fill those voids is Jesus. So you trying to seek and fill those voids through people, you're never going to get that fulfillment that you want. And that's not, we shouldn't be trying to seek our fulfillment through people in general, because we start making them our God.
Right.
And he's a jealous God. He said, don't have no other gods but me. So you also approach differently. You carry yourself differently. You think differently. Everything about you is different because you are coming from a place of fulfillment. You are coming from a place of, okay, I have this. This is what I am. This is who I am. I'm cool. Now, whatever comes, it should be an addition to what I have to offer, not a substitution.
I gotta speak on this. This is so big. God revealed this to me, like, I think today, honestly. And a lot of situations that's going on with me, even financially and just personally, when one thing is not all together, then it trickles down and I just start kind of spiraling and I just start to like have mental little mini breakdowns. So I just had a pullover because I'm living at home with my parents right now, and even that whole adjustment of going from my own apartment to now living back at home with my parents, I haven't been able to wrap my head around it fully, just because it's like we have a podcast and life still go on. Life be lifing, but you got to keep moving. So that's just the type of person I am. I don't like stay defeated, but also you sweep things under the rug, and it's like it doesn't show up until you have multiple scenarios of disappointment. So yesterday I'm riding around, I'm disappointed because temptation is still there. Your word is your bond as a man. A man told me, oh, he gonna take me out and he was gonna see me, and he didn't. That hurt my little feelings because I'm like, why would you say that and then you're not gonna do it? I'm expecting a phone call, and I'm also in the season where I desire to be a wife. I desire to be in a relationship, and you gonna do that?
You trying to play?
You trying to play? So that was already wearing me down. And then my finances. I'm like, oh, okay. Some gotta give.
I can't get beat up. I'm getting jumped.
I said, God, something happening. So he told me, he was like, happiness. I kept saying, God, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. But that's not truly what you want. Because happiness is based on things that's happening. The things around you that's happening are making you upset. But what you need to be asking me is for joy. You need to be asking me for joy that surpasses everything. You need to be asking me for that joy because it'll bring peace. And that's something I've had to work on with the Lord. Like, I always say, I want things just to be happy. I just want to be happy. If you just bring me this man, I'll be happy. If you just bless me financially, I'll be happy. For one, you're present. You should be happy no matter where you are. If you got life and breath and you have your health, you got a lot more than some other people can say at this very present moment. So there's always a reason to give gratitude. But also with that, I think that I wasn't finding joy in where I was. Instead, I was letting the situation control me instead of letting the situations me control the situations. And I think, when he was like, you got to find joy, Kendall, no matter where you at. Find the joy, not the happiness, find the joy, and it will give you peace. So I started saying to him yesterday, I'm like, God, I seek joy, not just happiness, no matter where I am in my life. Because even once I attain all this money that I'm asking you for, it's not the money that's going to make me happy. It's the joy that I found within you that's going to make me the most joyous person in the whole entire world. So you do got to really feel whatever void that you feel like you're not getting from a relationship with him. You can't just feel it with another person.
No.
You got to seek Jesus. Put him first.
People leave? Then your void is going to be reoccurring. You're never going to deal with it.
That's why you got to find your joy. Don't let no one ever take away from your joy. That's so important. As a woman, as a man, no matter the situation, the world didn't give it to you and the world can't take it away. Period. So if you find the joy in Jesus, then you have everything you really need.
Child, this is good. Again, like once again, we all just trying to say that you only gotta prove your worth to nobody. Like your worth is obtained by your creator. Your worth is defined by your creator, the one that created you. You ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody, and you don't have to seek validation, or you shouldn't seek validation or seek your worthiness through relationships. Like no.
That's why you gotta stop acting like a wife when you're still single.
Exactly.
Please don't.
Please
don't let nobody breadcrumb you. Don't let nobody manipulate you. You have standards for a reason, and as long as they're attainable,
don't settle for less. Shoot,
it can be done. But it's just like God is speaking to me. I really know why I'm single though, and why I'm not dating. Because when I was in this world, I would be approached by any living creature on this earth. And yes, Lord. I say creature because Jesus, I don't know where they came from. I was looking around like, huh? And I'm not even just talking about looks. I'm talking about your spirit. Like, what your makes you think that I would want a man like you? I started asking my mom. I said, it's like a bad word written on my forehead because all I keep getting is these men that don't know you, that don't love you, that won't go to church with me. I don't get it. But God even had to tell me it's not about who you are necessarily, because I'm not saying, Kendall, you perfect, but they are demons. Like demons are literally invested inside of these people, and since you are an angel and you are light, they're going to be attracted to you. And they are going to try to attach you and attack you. But you got to know who I am, and you got to know the weight well. Because I can still desire a man and still say God, but it hurts that I don't have one. It hurts that I don't have the good thing that I'm praying for. Yesterday I just said, God, I'm just praying for my prayers. I'm just praying for you to do it. And I know I can't say that I want you to move ASAP immediately. Because at the right time you'll make it happen. But God, if we're being honest, I don't get it. Like, I look good. I have a job, I have a car. But I'm seeing my friends in these little situationships and they getting bills paid. But you know what? Their soul is being taken away with that. And I had to realize that. Like, but your soul, if God took you home today, are you going to heaven? Because you are living in sin when you're not doing his word, and you are a lukewarm Christian. So it's like, when you are literally set apart, your path gonna be different. It's gonna be a little bit lonely at times, but
it's definitely gonna be lonely.
Wait. It's worth it.
It's definitely gonna be lonely.
Because when I think about my kids and my destiny, my future, and my husband, it's worth more than a temporary flesh desire.
Because like you said, it can get lonely. I mean, it is. But when you think about because I used to mess up. So I think about them times where I used to mess up and how I felt afterwards. And I'm like, it ain't even worth feeling like that. Just because I'm a little lonely right now, I'ma just, listen to my music or eat some food because I love to eat. And that feeling will pass. The feeling passes. Emotions, they change. They don't always stay the same. So you got to be careful on how you move and not move out of emotion, not make choices out of emotion, because that will get you in some mess too.
It will. Your emotions will. They really will.
Yeah. But
this was a beautiful episode.
It was.
I really hope we touched so many people's lives. We say that every episode, especially me, but I really hope that everything we're saying, you're taking it back to the Father. You're taking it back in your word. It makes you want to go read the word. Like, oh, they dropping gems. Well, what did it say? Like, we really pray that this podcast is helping men and women to be their fullest self.
Your best self.
In Christ. That's the only way you're going to know. He is your maker, your creator. And without him, you truly can't know yourself. You can't know who you are.
You can know fragments.
Yeah.
But you won't fully know the fulfillment and the fullness of your identity. You will not know. But don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. We also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yep. Don't forget to check out our website as well. And yeah, turn on y'all post notifications so y'all know whenever we drop.
Yes, this was another great episode. I really pray that you guys took so many gems away.
Yes.
Again, we are in Charlotte Podcast Studios. We are styled by Crystal Hall.
Yes. And we got something coming too.
Yes.
We got something coming in the upcoming episode, so stay tuned.
Y'all better stay tuned. Y'all remember, we dropping a surprise, so make sure that you're tuned in.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.